Hey guys, this is Cory from CoryBakerFilmmaker.com, and today I'm going to talk about The Shape of Water, directed by Guillermo del Toro and written by Guillermo del Toro and Vanessa Taylor. So I took in The Shape of Water over the weekend. I saw it at the usual LA Live. You know, as per usual, LA Live just lives up to the same expectations that I've had of them. I've never really had a problem with talkers or anything else like that. And it's just a good, nice place, comfortable place to go see a theater. I've decided, just sort of as a general rule here, anytime I get up to 10 visits at a theater, I'm going to make a little tiny mini documentary or a little featurette about the theater in general. So we're halfway there with the LA Live. 5 more trips and you will get a little opening splash about what it's like to go there. But I don't think I need to keep talking about my experience if I'm going to the same theater over and over again. You guys know at this point that LA Live is a nice little place to go see a flick at the Barco Innovation Center. So the plot, in a nutshell, Sally Hawkins is a mute janitor who works at a secret government facility located in Baltimore. What up, B-More? For most of the beginning of the movie, it's just sort of speaking about the relationships that she has. First with Richard Jenkins, who plays her next door neighbor, and Octavia Spencer, because Sally Hawkins has no spoken lines of dialogue throughout the entire movie. She is mute, and her and Richard Jenkins have conversations in sign language. Her and Octavia Spencer sort of have conversations where Sally is the receiving end of everything that's going on in the conversation, while Octavia Spencer plays the speaking side of everything that's going on in the conversation. You can tell that Sally Hawkins lives she's happy, but there's clearly something lacking. Her inability to speak has kept her from really getting all that she wants out of life. You can tell that this is not everything she desires. She wants more. And the whole movie changes when the asset, the creature from the Black Lagoon, if you will, played by Doug Jones, comes to the lab, and she starts having interactions with it. Michael Stuhlbarg plays a scientist in the lab, one who is desiring to do research on the creature, the asset. And Michael Shannon plays sort of the director, the guy who comes in with the asset and really has no care for the well-being of the creature. I mean, to him, he constantly speaks of it as an animal and needs to keep the animal in line. Overall, I feel like this is an easy class for directors, for writers, for actors to all take. Just spend the 2 hours, go to the theater, check it out. If you are an actor who is unsure of their voice, just look at Sally Hawkins doing everything without ever speaking a word. Richard Jenkins plays this beautiful, completely exposed character as well. I mean, he puts up these fronts of strength, while at the same time you can see just this running timeline of his fragility and his desire to be loved, and how even though him and Sally Hawkins have a relationship that is close and loving, it's not a in-love relationship, and that's something you can you read it on his face throughout the entire movie. He wants that more than anything else, but not necessarily with Sally Hawkins. The two performances I would point out specifically and would like more actors to see is the performances of both Sally Hawkins and Doug Jones. Sally Hawkins plays this role that is so lined with subtext, because she's not without any dialogue. She is doing a masterful feat of having you know what she is feeling, how she is experiencing the world. Character, it's very open. It's a wonderful bit of performance, and there has been many times in film that I've seen before where you have a character who is silent or mute, and more often than not, it just leads up to this big moment where they actually say something, and it opens up the whole thing. It's like, well, you speak, and this was very straightforward. It was. We didn't need the punchline at the end to make things seem better. It all works. A character who doesn't speak any lines, and it all works. While I'm throwing praise around for actors, I would also like to do just a second of praise for Michael Stuhlbarg, who is one of those preeminent, oh, I know that guys. You've probably seen him in half a dozen things. I remember him very specifically from Studio 60, which is one of my favorite TV shows that never got the due that it deserved. But he does a fantastic job in this, and definitely worth checking out. Michael Shannon, one of my favorite actors just in general working today, just brings it again with this wonderful performance. The only real problem I have with it, and this isn't in Shannon's performance in as much as it's sort of the way the character was written, is he's one of those characters where everything is always, he's the bad guy from the beginning. Clearly, he never has a moment where you say, oh, I think I can turn on this guy. I think I can like him. He's good. No, he's pretty specifically bad the entire time. He plays to it very specifically, and you can tell he's a bad guy because he says shit about Baltimore, like early on in the movie. Baltimore! Something that Rob brought up after the screening that I've been sort of churning over in my brain ever since is the idea of just giving Guillermo del Toro all the money you need and giving him carte blanche with the Universal monsters, Dracula, Frankenstein, so on and so forth. While I certainly like this movie, and while I certainly wouldn't mind Guillermo del Toro doing sort of a monster reboot in this a similar vein. I mean, this is essentially a telling of Creature from the Black Lagoon. Something about the idea of him being the purveyor of the monster franchise, if you will, just kind of rubs me. Like, I just feel like he should be spending his time doing what he wants. And if he wants to do a Frankenstein movie or something like that, then he should, by all means, just give him the keys to that. But it takes this is a very special script that I don't imagine you could just give Guillermo just the rights to Frankenstein and he would be able to turn it around the same way he did here with The Shape of Water. It's very specific. It's very different than any of the monster movies of old, mostly because it just plays itself as a romantic comedy, and that it is very endearing in that sense and very sweet. Off to the leaderboard. This is the 5th visit to Regal LA Live, so here it remains at the top of the list. And then on to the movie leaderboard. This does not qualify for the Fast and the Furious rule. It is a straight up drama all in its own right, and I give it an 8.6, and I would give it the spot right over top of I, Tonya, giving it the #1 spot in the rankings right now. But it's award season, there's tons of things to see. This list is very fluid, but right now, the #1 movie on my list, The Shape of Water, at 8.6. The long and short of it, though, is go see it. Go see The Shape of Water, because it is phenomenal and has amazing acting work, and Guillermo del Toro's at the top of his game, and he certainly deserved to win the Golden Globe for directing. He'll be a strong player, I'm sure, when Oscars roll around in March, but we'll have to see, because there's still so many more movies that are in the running this year, and I gotta see them all before I know for sure who I'm going with. But Guillermo definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. So that's it for me. If you like this review, feel free to share it, to like it, to follow along with me, subscribe, do all the stuff that you got to do. You can find me at CoryBakerFilmmaker.com, Facebook.com/CoryBakerFilm, or on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at LegendCB5. But that's it for me. I gotta go check out some more movies. I will see you guys right here later. Same bat time, same bat channel.